Bishop Barber is always saying, evangelical means you're supposed to be bringing the good news to the poor, right? That's supposed to be what you're supposed to be talking about. This thing you just mentioned on the vaccine, this is now going to become a public health problem. White evangelical resistance is now an obstacle, per the New York Times, to the vaccination effort. As you just mentioned, millions of white evangelical adults in the U.S. do not intend to get vaccinated against COVID-19. Mistrust of science, mistrust of, et cetera, and also their politics. Now this is a public health issue. What can be done about that if in their churches they're preaching against getting the vaccine? Because that means, I don't know how we get to herd immunity without 28% of the population.
Well, we're not going to get there, first of all. And secondarily, we're going to have a lot of funerals in those churches where they refuse to wear masks and everything else because they believe that Jesus is going to save them and that it's just my time. But again, this is about the selfishness and where evangelicalism has gone. And it's really quite a shame. There are things that have been good historically about the movement, but this anti-science sentiment and the ways in which they are digging their heels in promises to be an absolute debacle for them. When you put this on top of the racism where they're calling, the coronavirus, the Chinese virus, and all of these other things that, their Lord and Savior Donald Trump said, then you have to add up and wonder what is really wrong with these people that they continue to go against the best interests of not just themselves, but the rest of society in order to be recalcitrant. There's nothing about this, absolutely nothing, that says anything about what Jesus Christ taught. It is a movement that is stuck on itself and not on the person who is supposed to be the center of it.
Well, and can you just tell us then, is there a liberal evangelicalism that is counter to that? And is it of significant size to sort of counter what you're seeing in that sort of right-wing evangelicalism?
Yeah, I think there really is. And I think part of what's happening now is that you see a lot younger people and people who have been absolutely disgusted with the movement, disgusted with the racism, disgusted with the homophobia and everything else, who are leaving in droves. We start to see these numbers going down. And so I think what we're seeing is, I never want to say that the religious right or evangelicals are going away. What I think we're seeing is an attrition that is based on where they are right now in terms of their recalcitrance, first of all, and the hardening. And secondarily, I don't think they can expect anybody to want to join a Southern Baptist church when Beth Moore has left. And the last Southern Baptist that was in the news shot 8 people in Atlanta because he had a supposed sex addiction.
And what does it mean that they do have control of the Supreme Court? That is one place where they are 6-3 ahead.
Yeah. And I think this is going to be an issue for us. And I think this is one of the things that, the Biden administration will have to think about, whether or not they want to expand the court, what happens with the court, what will the court actually do if they get a Roe versus Wade kind of case up there, because evangelicals want to be in power. And that's the bottom line.
Indeed. Anthea Butler, great to see you. Thank you so much for being here this evening. Best of luck with the book. That is tonight's readout, All New with Chris Hayes. Well, it starts right now.